Hello, guys. It's Friday, and guess what? This is our very first Friday episode of Music and Vibes. I am so excited. And so, what we're going to do is, like I said, this Friday's episode is going to be called Weekend Love. So, if you've already subscribed and you see on Fridays an episode that says Weekend Love, that's me. It's Music and Vibes, and that's the Friday episode. Guys, I'm so excited for this addition to the Music and Vibes podcast because it gives us a chance to really spend time with each other and then spend our weekends doing some fun things to help improve our relationships and our marriages. And I think it's fun because I think it's first fun, but then it's also important because I think so many times we all get distracted with life. I mean, there are so many things to do. You're going like 1,000 miles a minute, so many places, people, and things are pulling you in so many different directions. Sometimes we don't have time or make time for our spouse, and I think it's important that we do. Now, if you're guilty of that, like I am, the great thing about it is, like, once you recognize it, there's never a time that's too late. There's never a time that's not a good time to try to fix that. So that's why I kind of wanted us to do this on Weekend Love Friday episode, because it is something we need to work on. So I know it's something I need to work on, so I'm just going to say there's probably other people who need to work on it. So I just think we should work on it together as a community, because then we are accountable to each other to make sure we improve our marriages. Because it's one thing to say, yeah, I want to improve my marriage, but it's another thing to actually do something to improve your marriage. So I think this is a good time for us to do that. Now, one of the problems, there are challenges, I would like to say, because it's not really it's a problem, but I'll just say it's a challenge, because problems seem like so big that they can't be fixed. But challenges are like something you can take care of. So, one of the challenges that I have had in my marriage, and sometimes I still do have, is that my husband and I have never had a chance to date a lot or be alone in our relationship. Now, when I first met my husband, he was a single father of 2 small children, so the majority of our dates included the kids. Of course, I didn't mind this because it gave me a chance to get to know the kids. But then once we got married, life happened. And between having 3 daughters and going to school to get our master's degree and raising preteens and tweens, either we forgot about dating or spending time with each other alone, or we just did not have or make the time to do so. And it can be difficult. Like, my 10-year-old is still a mama's girl. So every opportunity that she's not in school, you can find Dawson sitting beside her mom. Whether she's talking to me, reading to me, just sitting beside me watching television. She's like my Siamese twin. I call her my sidekick. Because wherever I am, you can pretty much find Dawson. So that does not do very well when you want to spend alone time with your spouse. Like, when we ask her to go somewhere so we can sit and talk privately, Dawson gets upset. So if you have that kind of situation going on, then you know what I'm talking about. So I was thinking, like, what is something that we could do that would help us spend more time together? Now, I know for my husband, just going out on a date with him, like, hey, let's go out on a date or whatever, that's not gonna work, because he's the kind of person where you have to kind of sneak these things in. Because if you suggest it, he's probably not gonna go with your idea. But if he suggested, he's gonna go with that idea. So you kind of have to work it in to fix it. Thank God he doesn't listen to this podcast. But that's just how it works. But if your husband is someone who you could just say, hey, let's go out on a date this weekend, or you make the arrangements and the plans, then by all means, go ahead and do that, so you guys can spend some time together. But if you're like me, you may want to start off small. So here's what I think we should do. I think that this week we should start off by doing something small. And the small thing I'm talking about is send our husband or wife a flirty text. Now, when was the last time you did that? Yeah, I can't remember when was the last time I did that. But I think it's something we should try to do this weekend. So this weekend, I'm going to send my husband a flirty text, and I want you to send your spouse a flirty text as well. And by doing this, we can remind them that, you know what, we haven't really spent a lot of time together. We're really busy, but I still love you just as much as I did before. And let them know that your feelings and your appreciation for them is still there. Because sometimes just knowing that you're loved and appreciated, it makes a big difference. Now, I am going to build up to where one weekend I just find someone to watch the kids and do a date or whatever. But right now, this weekend, my goal is to send a flirty text to my husband. All right, well, guys, now we have our assignments for the weekend, which is send a flirty text to our spouse. If you want to tell me how it went, feel free to tell me how it went or anything that happened or whatever, and we can go and we can talk about it. Well, yeah, we could if you wanted to. But anyway, just let me know what happened. Just go over to the Music and Vibes Facebook page and just say it worked, it went great, great idea. Just let me know what happened. And I'll try to remember to do the same thing on the page as well. So, hope to hear from you. Now, that's something that we have to do, and let's hold each other accountable. And guys, let's get it done. All right, talk to you later.